Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we are going to return to Rush with a repeated song. A very rare thing at this point. I think we've done it 2, maybe 3 times. This might be the 3rd time. It was another request for La Via Strangiato, and in particular performance. I have found a video that doesn't have the entire performance, but I still think it might be the one that was being referenced. It might be part of a movie. I can't really tell what that movie might be, or if this was a promotional thing or what. So I've got very little info on this. It's probably not the whole thing, but it was requested nonetheless after the person had seen the one we already have up, which we think is pretty good. It's the one where they were on that sound stage and basically performed it live. Like the one time they performed the song live and recorded it and liked the way it came out. So I thought it would be fun. This is at the Pinkpop Festival in 1979, which takes place in the Netherlands. That's about all I've got on this. Adrian, any thoughts on this?
Well, I first heard this song a long time ago from Exit Stage Left.
Yeah, okay.
And it would be a couple decades before I'd hear the studio version. Probably about 10 years ago, I was getting back into Rush, and Hemispheres was one of the albums I was really getting into.
All right, well, without further ado, why don't we just go see what this is, and then we'll talk about it after.
All right.
Not a lot. I just was foolish and I hit it. This was the doctor, as a matter of fact. He diagnosed it as mental retardation. Do you think it's all right?
I think it's going to be all right, yes. Got a little ulcerated gynecopolis there.
Oh, yes. Yes, the septalopus also is a little...
Yeah, it's healing, though. It's healing.
Yeah.
This finger canceled 3 shows on this tour.
Sounds like it goes on to 2112.
Very possibly, yeah. That sounded like the beginner. What'd you think?
Well, great guitar solos on this. It's a good live performance of the song.
I agree. Yeah.
It sounds like it started like a minute or two into the song, though.
Yeah, we lost some portion of the song. It must be part of a film. I just don't know what that film is.
Yeah, most of what happened like before where this video cut in was classical guitar anyway.
Maybe they didn't play it. Yeah, that's a good question. It was interesting seeing them at the top of the video, though, as I did the calculation, and in 1978, they all would have been in the neighborhood of 25 years old apiece.
Wow, that's still young.
Yeah, but they were all relating to each other really well. This is another one of those bands that listens really carefully to each other and do a lot of their writing really through improv. That requires a certain amount of listening to each other. And they're masters at that. And there's also a certain amount of trust, in order to branch out and do these adventures that they do. That really helps to be a childhood friend, or not even childhood, but whatever it was, young adolescence when they met. But you can just feel that connection, that's like, yeah, go ahead, let's try some things here. And so they do. Yeah, it's a good dynamic.
Also, do you notice Geddy's got like this massive synthesizer set up?
I did notice
apparently controlled with pedals, too. I think Geddy had some pedals. Alex might have even had some pedals connected to it as well.
Yeah, it's possible. He does use pedals in a lot of the clips that we see. Yeah, so Alex has Taurus pedals and a Roland guitar synthesizer. Geddy has a Mini Moog, Oberheim polyphonic, and Taurus pedals. So it would seem there's three of them. And so that makes sense. Let's just for fun, let's look up Oberheim polyphonic. Look at it. It looks a lot like what we saw. So
it does,
It just didn't have the keyboard. It's only got 8 voices. It's an analog synthesizer. So it looks like they really did a nice job on that one. I loved that rendition. It was different. It had a slight raggedness to it that was, a rock and roll raggedness, like kind of, they meant to do it. But also you're outside in the elements. It's an outdoor show, and some of that played into it as well, into the sound that we got to hear there. So I thought it was really cool. I appreciate the request, and I'm glad we revisited that song. So now we've done the entire Hemispheres album. All right, folks, well, why don't you let us know what you thought of this particular performance, if you've seen it before, if you recognize where it may have come from, or if you can tell us something more about this clip, whether it was just a standalone promotional or what. Would be interested to know. Any other experiences you've had hearing this song live or owning it on vinyl or what have you? Just let us know about those experiences as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.
See y'all later.